that particular number means on this day. That is not the only thing it means. That is what it means today. 13, woo! You know we don't want to do that. 6, 8, 10, 14. Okay, the first thing, the first message from the word unsettled is death and transformation. You mean to be unsettled, Paula? I've got to die and transform? I think Jesus said that. I think he said that you must be born again. Now, if you have to be born again, you have to die. Literally. That which you have been has got to dissolve away. I mean, that's called death. So something in its place. You're not going to become better. You're going to become the source of everything you are. You know, mode of cosmic therapy, mode, M-O-D-E, masters of divine essence. So what you are seeking is the essence of yourself. And if there's going to be an it anywhere, it's this. It's in the deepest part of yourself. The deepest part. That part does not move. It does not change. It came in here with a purpose and a designed plan of operation. Okay? And that's a fact. This essence, this core of you right here came in here with a designed plan of operation. And it will not be thwarted. No matter how much your personality, well, I'm going to get into this way more, but this personality tries to veer off course. Okay? Now, Paula, how do you do that? Let me stay here just a minute. Let me just stay here. So I'm coming back to this. But anyway, let's come back to this. You got to die and you got to be transformed. That's number 13 in this unsettled part. In 14, that's the number of balance. Well, how do you find balance? By being thrown off balance. By veering off course. Paula, what are you doing? You're going around in circles. You're saying one thing and then you're coming back around and saying another. You're telling me that we're not to operate from these many personalities and they're going to land us in all of these uncomfortable situations, and yet at the same time you're saying it's necessary in order to get to it. That personality is not it, but we have to use it in order to get to it. We can't use it. It is using us. But anyway, this designed plan of operation, we were born with that in our DNA. We were born with it, with every fiber of our being. That's what we are. That's what we are, literally. That's what we are, literally. We are the essence. We are masters of divine essence who have forgotten our heritage. And so we come here, and what happens is when we're born, and we're born to a woman, of course, of some sort, and she's labeled mother, and so we think in order to sustain ourselves, first of all, we want to be fed and nurtured, and that usually comes from either her breast or from a bottle of some kind, and we need, the invaluable sensation of touch and all of those things. So from a very early age, an unconscious state, we start recognizing that our desire is to be fed, because that's the first need in ourselves, and if we don't take care of the first needs, you can forget the rest of them. So we want and need to be fed. That's the first thing. The mother is responsible for doing that. It makes no difference if you had the best Ward Cleaver a June Cleaver mother or if you had a harlot of a mother, it makes no difference. The essence of you sustained you, or you would not be here. You would not be here in this moment listening to me talk. So the mother was the vehicle that brought you forth, used as a physical vehicle to bring you forth. And she nurtured you and she fed you, good or bad, regardless of your interpretation or what you think or how you want to either elevate her or denigrate her. That's immaterial. It does not matter. You learned that you recognized that you needed to eat. You needed to be sustained with food. You attributed food and comfort of some kind because you had just left her womb for ever how long, many months you were in there. So you identified unconsciously this was very comfortable and you didn't necessarily want to be brought into this bright, cold, indifferent world. But you were forced out and you had to come. You had to die from that particular state in order to come to this state. So we're going back to, you have to be transformed. You have to die. But getting back to that, so you needed, and had to have food. So your first addiction, food, mother. You identified the two. So you immediately gave her undue appreciation because she was sustaining you in whatever way that was. So you said, wow, this is good. Food is good. I feel good. I'm alive. I keep breathing. That's good. My mother is providing this. She is the object of my affection in my world and what I need in order to be here. And then if, in fact, she held you and loved you and kissed you and told you she loved you and how wonderful you were, second addiction. Second addiction. I want to be held. I want to be stroked. I want to be told I'm beautiful. I want to be told I'm loved. I want to know that somebody wants me. Now, second addiction, just touch. Then, along with that, being addicted right from the very moment you came out of the womb, you smell. You had inside of you this apparatus that immediately connected to her smell. Again, third addiction. You want things to smell secure, to smell beautiful, to smell like the environment of safety and security and support. This is what you do. So here you go. Immediately, you're a little teeny baby. And you're seeing this and you're feeling this and you're experiencing this. This is becoming wisdom that is embedded in you. Now you say, what enters in? What will happen if I'm in the crib and I cry and mama does not immediately come to me? What forms? I think that would be fear. You would think maybe she's not going to come back. And did you think I'm going to miss her? Or did you think I will not be fed? I will not be held. I will not smell. All self-benefit. Every single bit of it. So you thought, well, she comes through the door. Oh, there she is. What do I need to do? I need to stop crying so I don't upset her. And I need to smile. Or I need to coo. Or I need to do whatever it will be that will make sure that she'll keep feeding me, holding me, and smelling the sensation of familiarity that I know that I'm going to survive because I'm very little, you know. I'm very little. So it's going to be hard if, she abandons me. These are our early addictions. These are our early pathways of projecting something to someone on the outside. And it is always our mother because she is the primary source of our nourishment, of our support. It does not matter whether you're adopted or if an aunt comes in, grandmother. There's some type of maternal figure in the beginning, usually, that offers these mechanisms of encouragement, if you will. Now, what about if that mother, and good or bad, good or bad or indifferent. What about if that mother is going through her own sort of problems, insecurities, anxieties, doubts, fears, complications in her current relationship or lingering relationships that she's got in the current affair that she's keeping secret? Well, she had all these going on with you too when you were in her womb, but now they're magnified because you're on the outside. So your eyes of focus are on her still. You've forgotten that you exited from that womb as a baby with some sort of essence in you that has prepared you for this journey, prepared you for that mother, good or bad, or the environment in which you were born, and the circumstances and situations that saturated it. That essence brought you there. It didn't bring you down the street or across the world. It brought you to where you were, to who and what you were experiencing. Okay. Now, as this unfolded and you became older, so this particular dominant figure in your life, forgive me for not putting the emphasis on the father right now. The father plays another role altogether. But the mother, the 18, the moon, the source, the Bina, if you will, the Bina of our existence. She became, from the very early time, the source of everything you are. So what did you do but identify with her? Would that mean you became attached to her? You watched her, listened to her, smelled her, and began to emulate her, taking on a personality that is something not real. Because if you tried to be something other than what she told you to do, how she told you to do it, where she told you to do it, when she told you to do it, and with whom she told you to do it, you would have to be unsettled. You would have to go through that period of time where it didn't feel like you could make it. In fact, that addiction, because that's identification is how many addictions are we up to? 3, 5, 7? Because you're identifying with her. You're also playing roles to appease her and to accommodate her because you don't want to upset her. These are other addictions that you learn. You learn how to cater to her, which you will do for the remainder of your life until you recognize that you are a unit of selves, but you are not it. The essence of you is here. It's here. It's here the entire time. It's that still small voice that is within you that tells you that you are capable to think for yourself, make decisions for yourself. You do not have to ask, how about that? I was going to permission, but there was another word, pertinent. You do not have to ask permission, validation, or you don't even have to have solicit an inquiry of your mother or anyone else on what you're going to do, want to do, will do, or won't do. Because you know what? This is what drives me crazy. All this stuff that I'm saying, all these words that I'm using right now, I'm babbling on. You know, you're not going to do this, and you are going to do this, and you keep doing this, and you're not going to do that. The whole time in your mind, you're keeping it to yourself. You're acting like the other person doesn't know what you're doing. Well, most people don't because they're too busy involved in themselves to even care what you're doing or what you're saying or whether you're being true and authentic and searching or not searching and all of that. But then you'll run into some people who are, in essence, I like that. In essence, I heard that. In essence, the essence, and operating from that. Now, what's their particular role in your life? What's their role? To unsettle you. Okay? to unsettle you. You can be around 5,000 people, and as long as you remain unsettled, settled and not unsettled, then you're not growing. You're not evolving. You don't have to grow. You don't have to evolve. You can keep doing exactly what you do because, see, if I had another mouth over here, I'd be saying two things at one time. The things that you're doing and you have done in your life were necessary to bring you to this point. And all the things that you thought were wrong and are in essence not wrong, because nothing can be wrong, because everything is supposed to be like it is for reasons you can't see. All of those events, circumstances, people, places, and situations are necessary for your unfoldment of the essence of who you are. Now, that essence of who you are, who brought you through the womb, sustained you until this point, through everything, remains there for you to expose, remains there for you to divulge, remains waiting, like behind a curtain almost, like the Wizard of Oz, waiting for you to say, okay, I'm tired. I'm really tired. And that's how you can tell that you're operating full force on those personalities. Here's the two things. First of all, you will be dissatisfied and you will be grumpy. Dissatisfaction always has grumpy, short-tempered, ill-natured, blah, 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 okay? And the other one, you're going to be exhausted. That's how the two things, they're two clear-cut cues that you are operating from your manipulative, conniving, what's in it for me personalities. What am I going to get out of this? How much pleasure am I going to get? Is the sex going to be good? Am I going to get more money? Is the man or woman going to love me? Or are we going to buy a house? Am I going to go to the Caribbean? What's in it for me? Now, let me come over here and talk out of my other mouth a moment. All of those things, going to the Caribbean, having lots of good sex, being in a relationship, having a car, money, house, career, whatever, respect,